Today marks 1547 day of daily lessons, daily reflections. And today we'll start thinking about one specific topic. And I probably will share more in the future because I found it a very, very interesting topic. And I will need to find the best way to explain it. And I probably will find that is very, very interesting as well. So number one thing is that if you are trying to do the right thing on the wrong thing, it will never make it right. So that means if you put endurance on the wrong thing, that means that you will create more suffering that actually will do great things. So I think sometimes even when you're really trying to do the right thing on the wrong thing, that right thing becomes even wrong thing. Endurance on the wrong thing becomes wrong because it puts you through suffering and otherwise you will not. Because if you're not able to endure, and then you really do the wrong thing because you're not able to have endurance in your life, you quit that wrong thing. So sometimes being able to quit, it's even better. So today we'll share five things that I think that's why it's so important to really understand that when you really try to do virtuous things, I think that we need to understand that we need to ask: Is this situation deserves deserves to be virtuous? Because it might be that there's a situation, relationships that really doesn't require you to be virtuous. And being able to walk away from that situation, walk away from circumstance, walk away from people that are creating wrong situation, I think that's a much more important than really asking you what kind of virtue could I really bring here. Because as I said at the beginning, a right thing on a wrong situation will never make it right. So, what are the reasons why this topic is such an important topic? Is that virtue misplaced becomes self-virtue. Such an interesting thing, and is I found that this topic is such an interesting topic because I found myself that I learned this lesson that virtue misplaced becomes self torture. I torture myself. I stayed much longer in a place that I didn't need to stay. Because even I think that sometimes we have identity of suffering. Oh, this is just what I do. I suffer through. But do I need to suffer? Do I need to stay? Do I need to show that I'm virtuous? Maybe there's other places that I really could put myself. Because if you actually really put yourself in a position to succeed, and I think that we need to glorify being virtuous in a virtuous situation because endurance and patience and loyalty, I think that will trap us in suffering. Such an interesting thing. Endurance, patience, loyalty, consistency could trap you in suffering that you're not supposed to be in. Number two is time is not renewable. So when we think about that, time is not abundant and time is not renewable. So that means when you really put yourself in a position, when you do the right thing in the wrong situation, it means you're wasting time where you can potentially do the right thing in the right situation. How much more would you be able to get? How much more meaning, more joy, more bliss, more significance in your life if you really do the right thing and the right thing, right thing and the right thing. So what it means is that when you look into doing the virtuous thing, I think that's a question that we need to start asking myself. When I do the righteous thing, when I do consistency, patience, discipline, endurance. When I do the right thing, I need to ask ourselves, is this the right place to do that? Because I learned that successful people are amazing quitters because they quit the wrong thing early rather than wasting their time because time is not renewable energy, not renewable. When you know that, you start to ask deeper questions because opportunity cost disguised as morality is not good. Number three, suffering doesn't build strength automatically. Suffering doesn't build strength automatically. And I think that's interesting that when we suffer on the wrong thing, we sometimes training ourselves to tolerate damage, tolerate disrespect, tolerate things that is not serving us. And this is not what you're supposed to teach ourselves. We're supposed to not allow toleration of wrong things come to our lives. So that means when we have non-negotiables, when we have respect, when we have self-love, we're not supposed to allow wrong things into our lives. But when we endure wrong things in our lives, we start to say, like, our subconscious mind, look, this person allows this respect, I'll tolerate this respect. And maybe this is who we are. So identity, we need to really say, like, this is not who I am. I shouldn't endure that. This is shouldn't. That's not the best word, but I must love myself enough to walk away from the things that doesn't serve me. And I think that's what it is. And when we suffer through the things that we're not supposed to suffer in the wrong things, I think that sometimes is harder because that suffering that we're going through the wrong things could be allocated to the things for suffer for the right things. Because when we suffer for the right things, it makes you more courageous, more confident, more meaning, because there's no meaning when you do the right thing in the wrong place. Number four, it shapes your identity. I already mentioned that because you accept mediocrity, abuse, stagnation, and we're not supposed to accept that. We're not allowed to redefine who we are, because I know that it shapes your identity when you tolerate the wrong things, when you really do the right thing in the wrong situation. You start to really accept the things that are unacceptable. So we need to be very, very careful doing the right thing in the wrong time. That's why is walk away as soon as possible, just to make sure that we can keep right identity. Number five, and the last thing that I want to mention from this topic, because it's really will be a big topic. I'm looking forward to really speaking about it in the future as well. It determines future choices, and I think that endurance in the wrong place could become a template for your decisions. That means that how you tolerate things, what you tolerate, what kind of instincts you have. Because if you ignore red flags, that will be a template. I think that we need to really sometimes sit down and see, like, where did I ignored red flag? Where did I ignored? Where I tolerate things, and being able to catch them and really remove those things out of our lives, just to make sure that we're able to really bring better things into our life. Because that could potentially lead to decades of lost potential if we allow wrong things to life, because that's opportunity cost. The longer we stay in opportunities, in places, in relationships, in situations that are wrong, the longer we are not in the places where we're supposed to be. So this is extremely important um, topic. And that's why I think that I will need to speak about this more in the future. And this is just the topic that I want to learn how to express it. Because at the moment, I feel that I want to talk about it, but I don't have full, clear picture and clarity to really express my thoughts about it, even though it's extremely important topic. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.